Yes, it's a beautiful and an exciting morning. It's the bumper breakfast on MITV, and we just gave you all the stories, top stories in the papers for today. How are you doing? Hope you're finding this Wednesday morning quite an interesting one. It's the 9th of December 2020, and of course, the month of December keeps running. I mean, the year 2020 is in a haste to actually get out of the way and let us experience the joy and feeling of the celebration that comes with a new year. I can wait, and definitely I pray we will all see 2021, and of course get into 2021 with new leads of hope, new leads of life, and of course with great expectations. My name is Tomisin, and of course on a Wednesday morning on the bumper breakfast, I'm joined by the delectable red woman. Inga Kenny is here with me this morning. You know, I prayed that prayer yesterday that my voice should come back, and it's getting back.
Honestly, I
know Inga Kenny joined the prayer because apparently she needs my voice.
Yeah, yes. I can't wait for that voice.
She gave me an assignment.
I can't
and that assignment I must do.
Yes,
so I'm sure she's praying.
Yeah.
With me. So my voice is almost finished. Almost fully back.
I just pray so.
You can celebrate. I will do your assignment today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and I cannot but say that you look good, and I'm jealous.
Really?
All right.
Oh my! She's feeling
you
jealous.
Look good. All eyes.
She's feeling jealous.
All eyes glowing.
Your
ears, your neck, everything.
Let me tell you the secret of how I look. It's simply, you want to sleep at night and you say, what do I have to be thankful for? And I make a list in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to show this thankfulness by erasing all of the pressures.
Yeah.
And coming out in the morning like, I have no worries in the world. Do I have worries? Absolutely. But would I allow it to weigh me down? No.
Exactly.
So I take
That's
life.
the spirit. I
take life like, you know what? Let's go have some fun. And moreover, when you love what you do, you get to, there's something that just comes out of it, and you look up to it, you look forward to it, because I love what I do. Round peg in a round hole. Okay. But let's take a look at the papers this morning. Hopefully, we get to see Omolola's beautiful face sometime during the program. That's a story for another time. Anyway, the Guardian newspaper this morning talks about 162 naira per litre petrol pump price triggers confusion and queries. I think about fuel yesterday at 162 from one of the filling stations on the express.
Do you know that in the past how many months now? I just refused.
You don't look at it.
I refuse to check what price I am buying fuel. Just get there. Sell fuel 3,000 naira into my car. Sell fuel 4,000 naira into my car.
You're not even going to talk about the tariff.
I just don't, because if you look at it, you just, some things will just worry you, and you want to tell yourself, how long, how long are we going to be doing this? For how long are we going to be in this? And you begin to calculate the fact that, I'm losing this amount of money, I'm losing this. Last week it was this price. I bought it from this filling station, that price. And you begin to have some psychological, imbalance. I don't think I want that.
The way it works for me is, I discovered one day that I took a 5-litre keg, a little bit above 5 litre, to the filling station to buy fuel with 1,500. The keg was in field. As a matter of fact, the keg was still far from being filled. So it wasn't a matter of sell more, maybe sell 200 more. Somebody was going to make a difference. So I looked at it and I thought, what price do they sell this thing? I checked, it was 165. I said, okay, but even at that, this keg should be full. And then I went out.
Probably the pump has been altered.
I got back home, and about 2 days later, I wanted to buy fuel. And I'm like, okay, it's Kukuma, the nearest filling station, let us Kukuma go there, And my mother refused. She was like, no. And I was like, she wanted to buy fuel, and 1,000 naira was not even up to half. But then when she went to the filling station on the expressway, it was better. 1,000 naira almost filled the keg. So I was taken aback.
No, that one is something I do. I don't buy I don't buy fuel from every filling station.
You get it, but this is the only
do
one.
that because despite the price, the pump price of the fuel, I want you to sell my complete liters of fuel for me. You know, so
that's a good question.
There are some filling station I don't even bother myself getting into, but there are some particular ones I know, okay, when I'm going I know I have to buy so that I don't get stranded because I don't want to. But for me to check the pump price,
I tell you, a merry-go-round,
I really don't want to.
The only way to get to the good ones is for me to merry-go-round because they're actually not on my way. The only way for me to get to the good ones, I have to go on a merry-go-round, and that's what I do. I just make sure I buy my fuel once and for all.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I took the same keg there, and the sold fuel of 1,200 and about 30 naira or 1,240 naira, and you cannot imagine. I got the best out of it. 1,240 naira, and the keg was full. The same keg that 1,500 didn't fill. So since then, I go on that merry-go-round.
I wonder how.
So the cheating mentality.
I would have to buy a fuel as expensive as this, and at the same time I'll be cheated.
Still cheated.
It's you know, at times we say government. You see, when I tell people change begins from all of us.
We're supposed to do,
you know, let's do the right thing, and let's leave the government to do whatever, you know. Let's try and do the right thing. It's just like someone driving, you know, jumping the traffic. And you see, the annoying thing is that someone wants to jump the traffic behind you because there's no policeman or last man or whatever there. He's still pressing the on behind you that you should leave the road.
No, you see, it abuses you. When it gets to your side,
there's some things I can think about.
Why were you just, you know, perceiving it? Most times, you know what I do? I wind down and I tell them, fly over my head, please. Can you fly over? If you can go wings and fly over, then you're good to go.
It's just unfortunate.
But cannot
reality.
For me.
So many things, like I put up on Facebook yesterday, I said so many things are just broken down. I begin to wonder which you know sector is working now.
That's the
at
truth.
this point in time.
That's the truth. All right, 868 billion export-bound goods stocked in seaports. Nigeria's population now 206 million, says the NPC. The National Population Commission. When was the census conducted?
I don't know.
Wait, you saw it. You saw it.
Maybe BVN.
But BVN, we have too many unbanked people. Just about 35% of
I saw it when I saw it in the papers this morning. That was the first question that came to my mind. Like,
how? When?
How? Because I know that we don't have a good electronic system that can count probably without we doing it manually. You know, I know all these years we've been doing it in the analog way.
Even in the United States, they did, you know, some measure of counting and all that, and manual and all that. Security, whatever they would use, but in Nigeria, not everybody has a national identity card.
You see, it's just unfortunate that we just wake up and one sector arrives at something and puts it up there, and we'll follow. Well,
anyway,
but that's a reality. I just hope that things will move on and get better.
Senate deploys $120 million yearly foreign shipping fee for petroleum products. APC NEC extends tenure of Green panel for 6 months. Rotating presidency is divisive, says Olawekpo Hashim. Senate slams 10 million fine on police for alleged killing of undergraduates. What do you have on the Punch?
Okay, the Punch newspaper this morning is coming with the lead story. APC leadership tussle. Expelled ex-NWC member declares self-chair. NEC extends Buni's tenure. I won't withdraw suit against interim committee. Ex-vice chairman Etta vows. APC dissolves party structures. PDP demands ruling parties deregistration. That's politics this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, religious rights violations. Can Sokapu back US FG disagrees. Okay, marketers kick against 5 naira reduction in petrol pump price. All right, ASU agreed to end strike today. That's coming from Ingi Gale. Okay, let's hope that this comes to reality, because this strike is gone too long this time around. We have also below the picture story in the Punch newspaper this morning: 10,000 constables grown over unpaid 6-month salaries. Nigeria's population rises to 206 million. That's coming from NPC. Gunmen in army uniform abduct 3 Delta teachers. Ondo APC, PDP supporters clash at tribunal, scores injured. Hoodlums attack Ondo Monarch, destroy palace. And Mayna's briefcase companies had 3 billion naira turnover. EFCC witness. That's is saying that this morning. Oh, well, that's all we have on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, moving straight to the Nation newspaper. Naira devaluation risky for foreign currency loans, says report. Banking sector recapitalization coming. Akeredolu Jegede begin legal battle. Thoughts storm tribunal. Eita Jegede, the candidate of the PDP, lost an election, and Rotimi Akeredolu, governor of Ondo State. Federal government rejects U.S. report on religious freedom. It's worrisome, says Cleen. Petrol to sell for 162.44 naira per litre from December 11. I hope this is the government, setting prices and not regulating prices as well, and not subsidizing. Because
the last time we talked about this, I told you I don't think we have come to the end of subsidy. It's always been back and forth. This minute that we hear no subsidy, the next minute we hear we're subsidizing. So when it comes to subsidy of fuel, I just take whatever news they bring to us, just take it with a pinch of salt, waiting for what next.
But I really think they should clarify so that we understand.
But they've been doing so many clarifications in the past. They've been saying, but the clarifications has been back and forth,
this time around, let us know what it is. 162.44, does it mean you're regulating prices? Is this the PPRA regulating prices? Or is this subsidy? Okay. Court rejects Mayna's plea for adjournment. APC dissolves state local government ward ESCOs. Bernie committee gets 6-month extension. Opposition party accused of mischief. Buhari to governors work with local chiefs to tackle insecurity. Those are stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning.
I saw something here in Nigerian Tribune and I can't but laugh. Okay, Nigerian Tribune this morning is coming with a list story. Shake up in APC, ESCOs at ward, local government state levels dissolved. expels former acting national chairman ETA and extends national caretaker committee tenure by 6 months. PDP wants INEC to deregister APC over party structure dissolution. Opposition party releases beer parlor gossip, lacks focus. APC replies. All over the front page of the paper this morning, it's APC versus PDP. We're not in the election year yet, and we are having all this tussle back and forth between these two parties. Okay, we just keep our fingers crossed and we see how it pans out. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, above the nameplate, what I saw that made me laugh this morning at the meeting with governors. Buhari says borders to reopen soon. Wants them to work with traditional rulers, says ASU, unmindful of national challenges. APC, NWC, governors, senators, reps meet ahead Buhari's session with NAS. What on earth that meeting was meant for?
Insecurity.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is. Insecurity.
All right, 90-year-old receives world first Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine in UK. Kabiru Yusuf succeeds Obaidena as NPAN president. And dead or alive, release my son. 89-year-old tells police at judicial inquiry. Oni of Ife receives son. Now we can put an end to all the gossip all the back and
People
forth.
like not to mind their business. People just like not to mind their business.
But is somebody at the front line. So his life is in front of the papers, in front of the television.
They don't burn.
So, so Oni of Ife has a son from whom now? Naomi. All right. Mob this.
Naomi. Olori now.
She has a son. So let all the other stories, let all these other stories go to rest.
No, but you know the interesting part. She has a son.
She has a son. That's the long and short.
It's a prince.
That's the long and short of it. So every other stories, please let it rest.
Let's put it to
all
rest.
Right.
Yeah.
Mob discovers 6 human heads. Mob discovers 6 human heads. Set suspected ritualist house ablaze in Osun State.
Why do I always hear these stories from Osun State?
Yeah, in the recent times, it's been coming from
last year
from Osun State.
Remember the lady who was killed by mother and son? It was Osun State as well. The pastor who was discovered on the way to one ritualist, Osun State as well.
So is there more to it? Do we say those?
No, because if I link it in my head, I would just say, can we comb the bushes? Don't burn them down, because you're preserving nature. It's good for us. But can we comb the bushes? Can that be the assignment of Amotekun? Combing the bushes, looking for these hideouts, and chasing these people out of it. Can we have that? Because in the past we used to have forest guards, we used to have, that was why it was difficult for those who are familiar with my state, Osun State. Osun State is actually my second state, Those who are familiar with the place, should be familiar with Agbegilodo. Remember? In those days, when one of the reasons it was difficult for them to actually steal the plants and cut down trees in the market, in the farms and in the forest, was because you had the forest guards there.
Yeah.
So now if we have Amotekun, combing the bushes and all of that, we're likely to even find out a hideout for the kidnappers and festival.
It's becoming one too many from us.
One too many.
Okay, federal government deploys wide brigade to enforce use of face masks. Replies US, no religious freedom violation in Nigeria. Engages Southwest on social protection policy. Wow. I hope
war against the discipline, as in we still have. Last I saw them, I was in secondary school.
No. They still come out.
You see them?
Like that.
When was the last time?
In trickles. They come out in trickles. Around this Aswani Bridge. You find them once in a while trying to watch people that are supposed to be going on the pedestrian bridge.
Is that on Lagos State Kai?
No. Okay, I think I'm mixing up the Kai to okay, maybe they are trying to bring them up, wake them up.
No, but they were existing. It's just like the health inspectors. The Woli, none of them. White and brown, light brown uniform. Do you know the only time I see them? When there is a building disaster. Like the Tafaji issues, I saw them there.
Maybe they are just trying to.
I'm asking.
Make them active.
You know what? That means these people are still on government payroll. That means they are in their offices
doing nothing.
What were they doing? They exist? Really?
You see, the problem we have is that we set up a lot of parastators. We have about 3, 4, 5 parastators doing the same thing, and at the end of the day, the previous one becomes irrelevant when another one comes, and at the time another one is coming, the previous one also now goes down, like that. Before another government comes in, he sets up a similar, parastatal doing the same thing. So we have a lot of parastatals, NDAs, doing
just
the same thing.
Because
so
I'm asking the question.
That's why you now find some of them being redundant. You just find the most recent ones working, which I don't think it should be. Governance is a continuum, and like in Lagos State, even in Lagos State we've had one party ruling. So I see no reason why we should have this at this tenure, have that at that tenure, have that at that tenure.
But at least it's I think it's just the way government tries to create employment. When
but-
there is a
but-
need, they create an employment, and then
You just said
The
when there is a
question is-
need. It doesn't mean that because we are
But
trying
can't
to
we
create
look for the people?
employment, we should begin to get people into offices that are not really necessary, or begin to get people, just get them into the workforce and they have no job description.
usually
they do.
You know what I really think government needs to do at a time like this is to look back and say, probe all of this MDAs, do some investigative work, find out which is relevant, which is not, find out which is functional, which is not. Because we have so many people government are paying salaries too.
Exactly.
And all
And
they
they are
do in the
doing
morning
nothing.
is to go to work. In fact, as a matter of fact, some go to work only at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, just to receive salaries, to go about their businesses, all the times. And then at the end of the month, you're not finding it difficult to understand when somebody say, that person is a local government staff. You're like, I will see them in the market. You're confused because you've never seen them at the GT post.
Exactly.
So something needs to be done. We need to overhaul all of these overlapping functions and redundant, NDAs, whichever one, agency, parastatal, just look for it. And then maybe we weed out some of this. Or even
And
give
probably
them-
merge some of them. Some of them need to be
give them
merged.
clear-cut functions. They have heads, they have directors. Oh, I need salaries. It's paying me. I need salaries.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, Ondo State, APC, PDP supporters clash as governorship election tribunal begins sitting, and we also have reps suspend planned recapitalization of insurance firms. Nigeria's projected population is 206 million, coming from NPC boss. And finally, on the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning, we have federal government reduces petrol price by 5 naira.
Interesting times, obviously, interesting times coming up, and we have loads and loads of expectation. But we have Kenya Diaga joining us this morning, and of course giving us the business report for today. Once we come back from that conversation, we definitely are hitting it running. Remember, Wednesdays are dedicated to women. Women matters, women issues. We'll be back, one of those discussions after Kenya.
As I dey hustle every day, I dey hustle, I dey pay. Me Baba bless my kill everybody share. Cause money makes it life. Now hard work be the price, no time to dey sleep. So brother man make you hustle tight. Cause if you don't get money, friends no go there. You no get it by your pay no go stay. Baba answer my prayer, make you no go take. Gbogbo lala mi go riba mi she. Now go take it and I get am. $10 get ready, I get am. Big get it leggy, I get am. Now go to get the money, I won't get am.
Peppermint soft, babies are comfy. Peppermint's dry, babies don't cry. It's economic, that's fantastic. Peppermint's superior, babies are happier. Peppermint's elastic, babies feel fantastic. And did I ever tell you about its price? It's economic and that's really nice. Good price, more smiles. Peppermint's more smiles. Good price, more smiles.
Dermatologically tested Bevin baby diapers makes babies happy with elastic side bands, breathable external layers, barrier to help prevent leakage, and makes families happy with its affordable price.
Peppermint.
Lálẹ́. Hello, Cassis.
Yes, we're back here, and of course, here's the bumper breakfast, and Kenny Adiaga joins us as we begin to talk about some of the stories, business stories all around. I'm sure Kenny would be interested in the fact that he's a he for she. So, 16 days of activism, going strong and getting close to ending. Of course, Kenny will be looking forward to joining the women. I'm sure it will be a match. Kenny will join us.
Yes, because
sure.
it's an E for she. Good morning,
for she.
Kenny. How are you this morning?
I'm still wondering why Kenny is not talking. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Kenny. Hi, Kenny.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
Very well, very well.
Good morning,
So talk
Kenny.
to me. Our dearest E for she.
Thank you so much. It's a he.
But I'm sure if we have a match, you will follow us.
Well, I don't have a choice because I'm born of a woman.
Now let's talk business.
Yes. Well, the market may be down, but the operators and the participants in the market are optimistic that Nigerian capital market is still the best way to go. And this was their conclusion at a workshop that was recently held by the Finance Correspondent Association of Nigeria, where the guest speaker, Professor Uche Waleke, who is a professor of capital market, says that the market is still the best place to be. And of course, some other operators in the market equally agree with him, saying that what we see under the pandemic shows that Nigerian capital market was well prepared. Otherwise, the market would have been down by now, because pandemic or no pandemic, Nigerian market was still trading, and this goes to show that they were preparing against eventualities which actually happened. Having said that, Professor Waleke will be talking to us on what led to recession in the market and how we can get out of the recession, and some other areas that he feels that government needed to do more in order to support the capital market. According to him, the Nigerian capital market needs the support of the government, and if that support comes from the government, it means that government also can raise funds through the capital market and will not need to go into borrowing externally. We hope that will happen very soon. Having said that, let's look at the volume from the market. Investors traded 307.72 million shares, valued at 3.27 billion naira, exchanged in 4,507 deals. Top trades in the market yesterday were that of United Bank for Africa PLC, Zenith Bank PLC, MBN Holdings PLC, and GT Bank PLC. All are under the financial service sector of the market. For United Bank for Africa, investors traded 142.43 million shares, valued at 1.2 billion naira, exchanged in 214 deals at the market closing price of 8 naira 85 kobo per share. Zenith Bank with 33.85 million shares traded worth 795.52 million naira, done in 566 deals at the market closing price of 23 naira 40 kobo per share. MBN Holdings PLC shows 12.63 million shares traded worth 89.44 million naira, traded in 232 deals at the market closing price of 7 naira 5 kobo per share, while GT Bank shows 9.73 million shares being traded worth 321.88 million naira, done in 335 deals at the market closing price of 3 naira 50 kobo per share. Lowest trade stock yesterday was that of Telerams PLC, with just 37 units being traded, valued at 83 naira 62 kobo, and this was done in 2 transactions at the market closing price of 2 naira 15 kobo per share. Meanwhile, the market recorded 14 gainers as against 18 losers. Gainers was led by BTI PLC, gaining 45 kobo to close at 5 naira 85 kobo. Dangote Sugar was up by 30 kobo to close at 18 naira 90 kobo. UACN PLC with 10 kobo and Precision closing at 7 naira 30 kobo. And Oando PLC was up by 8 kobo to close at 2 naira 93 kobo. From the losers table, we have Flour Mills from Nigeria PLC topping the table with a price depreciation of 1 naira 20 kobo to close at 55 naira 30 kobo. WAPCO PLC lost 30 kobo to close at 22 naira 50 kobo. Zenith Bank PLC was down by 30 kobo to close at 3 naira 40 kobo, and Access Bank PLC lost 20 kobo to close at 8 naira 30 kobo. The market capitalization of listed entities on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange yesterday depreciated by 16 billion naira, closing at 18.31 trillion naira as against the previous day's closing figure of 18.32 trillion naira. The index equally went down from 35,064.36 basis points to 35,003.74 basis points, a depreciation of 30.62 basis points. Of course, let's quickly hear what Professor Uche Walike had to say about developments in the market under the COVID and let's say post-COVID and after COVID. Yeah.
So what happened in quarter 3? The government started reopening the economy, and we started seeing some rebound in economic activity. So what I'm saying in effect is that because we have reopened the economy, because the economy has restarted, flight operations, have started, and so on. Economic activity are also picking up. Travel, trade, transport, all these activities are beginning to pick up. So I think that as we fully reopen the economy, it will rub off positively on the rate of growth. And as I pointed out in my lecture, we also beginning to see that manufacturing activity is beginning to expand. And if we can get it right, once I agree with you, insecurity is a factor, inflation is a factor. Once the government can implement what it has in the economic sustainability plan, especially in the area of the mass housing and mass public culture, which already are contained in the economic sustainability plan, I see the economy once it meet, I see the economy rebounding by next year. But I also pointed out the risks. So if, for example, of course we had the NSAS protest in October, that will also have this impact, on the GDP reports that we have in quarter 4. But quarter 4 GDP will not be as severe as we had in quarter 3. Let me also say this from experience. If you look at our GDP reports per year, quarter 4 is usually the period that shows the strongest growth. Look at 2019, for example, quarter 4 was 2.5%. And I'm also saying that as we approach this festive season, it's a year time, economic activities, transport, trade, will pick up. And as they pick up, it will rub off positively on the GDP reports for quarter 4. That will also, linger into the export of next. So, mark my words, by the end of 2021, if we have this best quarter GDP report in 2021, the tennis variables, other factors remain constant. We don't have any serious external shock to the economy. Those other financial points rise, no external protest. The quarter 1 GDP will be positive. And once it becomes positive, we have left, technically speaking, we have left space. On my friend from next morning, like I said, is the market disconnected from the real economy? That has been the question. Even in the US, if you look at NASDAQ, for no understandable reasons, yes, NASDAQ, then where you have the text, the text box, and you look at NASDAQ. So, stay at 2 stocks. I'm working on the NASDAQ. So, for understandable reasons, NASDAQ was operated from the US economy, the performance. The same question that's being asked here. The market is connected to because the vaccine market is not looking at. You can see that the economy is going down and the market is you are asking me to reconcile. Of course, we know why the market has been going up. The fact that the fixed income market is low. The fact that the economy can just have some level of liquidity surfeit. Central bank will call it liquidity surfeit. Because we decided this way in the equities market. The deposit ratio is encouraging that, for example, the intervention and central bank are also encouraging that. So that is what keeps the attention to this market. You have a reversal of this now. If the government tomorrow, the central bank tomorrow, puts in place policies that push up rates again. Okay, that process. So the primary thing that is driving this market is what you're saying now. If I agree, these policies that the central bank it's not as though the economy is it's not the economy that is quelling it, but the policies that the central bank are driving growth in the market. Is the oil price. The oil price has remained stable for some time. The oil price were going down until we panicked, and the market does not like panic. That's what we want because of the oil price. So I think as long as this policy is in place, it is sustained. Because as an investor, if I'm looking at the place that we do on a risk adjusted basis, the higher return and also the higher rate of return. And rate of return is return that has taken into account inflation. If you're in the front of the market, this 30% you're talking about is the average of commercial index. We have stocks today that have gone as high as 40%. Stocks in the health sector, for example, if you look at Cleen or you look at
that's the voice of Professor Uche Uwaleke reacting to some issues in the market and how the Nigerian market, according to him, is still the best place for any good investor to come in. Of course, also from the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, where we understand that the outgoing MD Malam Umaru Ibrahim will be retiring after 2 terms in office, and of course his executive director operations, Prince Katse Eredirawa, also will be retiring after completion of their 2 terms in office. But what is important is the fact that the MD Umaru Ibrahim has taken the NDIC to a level that whoever may want to take over from him, they need to do more work and do extremely well in order for the NDIC to continue to sustain and maintain its position in the financial industry. For instance, in the first statement that was issued just recently, says that in order to safeguard the NDIC of the future, recruited competent and agile workforce and build their capacity and strategy to prepare them for challenges ahead and to assume leadership mantle. These were some of the issues, some of the areas that the outgoing managing director did more, and it also stressed further that under his leadership, NDIC collaborated with Central Bank of Nigeria to develop a critical resolution framework that saves the banking system from systemic risk twice in 2011 and 2018 with the introduction of Bridge Bank Failures Resolution Mechanism, which addresses the distress in 4 failed deposit money banks, namely AfriBank, PLC, Bank PHB PLC, Spring Bank PLC, and Skybank PLC. Those subsequently liquidated, and the new Bridge Bank were seamlessly created by the combined efforts of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the NDIC. We say kudos to Malam Umaru Ibrahim, who has done so well in ensuring that the financial inclusion of the present administration is well acceptable and, of course, has a kind of strength to the financial industry. We wish him all the best as he goes to retire. But, of course, the industries are saying that his retirement should not be that he's disconnecting completely from the market, but they expect that at will, when they call upon him, he should be able to come and give them some kind of assistance, which he has been doing in order to support the financial system to continue to maintain the stability and the acceptability in the global market. Over to you, Tomisin. Friday is another day when we'll be looking at other areas that some operators in the markets have talked about. Of course, we'll be getting information from the registrar of the Institute of Capital Market, who talked about what the registrars are doing in order to ensure that the issue of dividend should not be something that will distract or disrupt the performance of the market. But of course, Nigerians, according to him, needed to know what is happening in the market in order for us to reduce the level of unclaimed dividend, so to say.
All right. Thank you so much, Kenny. We look forward to having more of this report on Friday. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. Yes, we'll take a quick break now. When we return, we'll be back shortly. We're back here. It's the Bumper Breakfast Show, and of course, this beautiful morning, it's Women Matters. We're talking about empowering the voices of women. But just before we have that conversation, something interesting did happen over the last couple of days. A lot of people in our business will be looking forward to having one person, broach the topic. And I'm sure that somebody like Komolola will be here this morning looking at me and wondering, would we talk about this? I'm sure she's like swollen, angry with him, and then so upset that she's like ready to blow if I give her the opportunity. Komolola, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm even thinking about it, like, do I even know what you're talking about?
You don't even know this what I'm talking about? Really? Don't worry, when I talk about it, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know because I can guess.
I like your guess. And I can't wait to get it.
That's the point where I zip my face and I'm like, duh, it's not happening.
Whether you like it or not, I'm waiting to get it. I'm just getting video without your approval.
You see, that's why some people cannot get to know the way, the door, the anything to my house.
Don't worry,
because if they come to my house, I will miss a lot of things. From head to toe, I do. When you say head, women will know.
No, for head, no.
You know why?
Because you do some hairstyles that I know I can't do.
No.
So
but what about
from here?
What about wigs?
Of course,
you get, that's what I'm talking about. From here to toe. But really, good morning.
Good morning.
I must not ask the question that I told Ninka again I will ask you this morning. Let's leave it matter for another day. Okay. But 16 days of activism. 16 days of activism obviously started a couple of days ago. And where are we? With CAMFOR, the National Human Rights Commission have been moving around, sensitizing people. Different groups, women groups have been coming together. Coincidentally, NGOs, even some owned by men, funded by men, have been pushing for something to be done to reduce the spate of violence against women. But a story did break out over the last couple of days, and this one caught my attention. That's why I said, if I mention the story, Omolola will want to be up. A young lady, doctor, remember, our colleague's wife, came out on social media and complained about abuse from the husband. So much so that she just delivered a baby through a cesarean section, and the husband laid hands on her. And what was shocking for me, really, when I saw the story, was the fact that he's a colleague. Secondly, what was shocking for me was the fact that she endured. She's educated, employed, and she has kids, little kids, and she endured for those number of years. Another shocking part, and this one broke my will, the fact that we had a governor that stepped into the matter and then reconciled her. I just couldn't fathom it. I can't relate with the story. How do you reconcile a man who beats his wife to the point of giving her marks, despite the fact that she just had a baby, back with the same wife, and you're psychiatrist? Is the man being sent on psychological? Because for me, that man needs to be psychologically evaluated.
Yeah.
He needs to go to a rehabilitation center. He needs to be checked up here. How do you beat a woman who just delivered a baby? How? You can't tell it has happened to you before. So yeah, I understand. Yes. No, sincerely. You see, some of the stories, it breaks my heart. The lady in question is duly employed. You see how angry we were yesterday when we were talking about this? So upsetting. And then somebody now says, we are reconciled. I don't get it. How do you reconcile? How do you reconcile?
You know, like
the beating,
reconcile for
the beating woman with the beater.
I think Lola is
just
not
so
getting,
the marriage.
Lola is not getting the story. Lola, actually, what happened?
No, she knows the story.
I'm trying to say reconcile for
No,
what?
the governor. Okay, are you aware of the fact
Yes.
that the governor?
I even saw it
a
on,
lot of Benus.
of course, I know it was because they made a mockery of it yesterday on. I don't want to mention the TV station. Like, our governor does not settle dispute,
Marriage
marital.
dispute.
Yes, it was, and I was like, I was listening. I'm like, God, there was a lot of things that went through my mind. Like, how do you even generate?
Well, you upset like me. Because I expected you to blow.
I don't want to blow much night. Because I'm like this thing.
You see, like I told you this morning that at the end of the day, we cannot cry more than the bereaved.
Definitely,
we cannot cry more than the bereaved. But it's just unfortunate because, like I said on one of my platforms, that since I was born until now, I have never seen the leopard change his course. A man that lays his hand to, batter a woman, or the first, second time, third time,
It will never change.
Then you see, for her to have
6 years.
For her to have come to the national, to the social media to bring it to the fore.
And then she has how many kids in how many years? Really?
I wanted to believe that she would have thought about it right. She would have made a decision, and she would have been ready to pursue the matter. That was why she came to the social media
to talk about
it, so that the right authorities can take the necessary action. Because it beats my imagination that a journalist, you are supposed to report, cases like this. You are supposed to be better informed. You are supposed to be better behaved. You are supposed to, you have an edge over the ordinary man. you see this thing in your day-to-day report, and you report against it. So why would it be that it is this same you that is busy doing the same thing? So I strongly feel that that is the more reason why it should, be
They made
punished.
a scapegoat.
Exactly, for this act. But then at
You
the end of
helped
the
him
day,
to escape punishment. You stepped into the back, and then they made the woman do a press conference with the man looking behind you. How do you come out
I just hope
in public there?
So
my own problem is the fact that when stuff like this happen, we begin to talk about the issue, we begin to look at solutions. Meanwhile, we do not look at the root cause of all these things. Because I feel like he did not just wake up one morning and start. It started probably a long time ago, and she probably
From a slap before they
do you
got
understand?
married.
From a
To a
before
shove.
they got married. I like that I said before
From
they
a
got married.
shove
If not even a
to a
slap.
slap.
The moment a guy raises his hands,
He
that's
has not
a
even
sign. That's a red
he
flag.
has
for
not
me.
even touched you.
He
But
has- he
lifted
has
his
raised-
hands.
But let's come back to this story of theirs.
Do you think
see?
they can heal? Do you think this lady can heal?
I don't want to believe, because I've been trying to wrap my head around it since yesterday, and I don't want to believe the fact that probably she was pressured to accepting the reconciliation. There's so many things I'm thinking about. Probably she, I don't know, thinking about the husband, thinking about the children. But I tell women that at the end of the day, it is you first.
Yeah.
I tell people that I need to be alive to be a wife to any man. I need to be alive to be a mother
To my kids.
to anybody.
Did you notice that his son was in the video?
Saying-
Almost came in saying, "Mommy, sorry."
Mommy, sorry. Yeah.
So that little boy already knows that his mother is being battered.
You're saying that little boy already know that the mother is being battered. Do you
How
know
do
what
you-
I'm scared? I'm scared for the boy because he's growing up in an environment where the
That is
father
very toxic.
Because we talk about, I'm talking about root causes. Even the man that is beating the wife, have they checked psychologically? Do you know where it started from?
And that's where I am worried about this reconciliation thing. Because rather than protecting the woman from such a man, you reconcile them, and then you come on national TV and then you say, I've forgiven my husband. And I'm wondering, why didn't we get a psychiatrist, sit both of them down and say, you don't reconcile with somebody who is tantamount to a beast who beats you at this point. You do not reconcile like that. What you need to do is to put down points. Please go and seek healing. Take him to the hospital.
I think the governor should even lead by example. It should even be someone that
Protect
should,
the woman.
exactly,
Not
to
because
know better.
And then you send her
was
back
the
to a
next
place
thing.
where she's likely to be
Healed.
And you
Because
see, the
that's from-
unfortunate thing is that because this thing has been made public, the whole issue, the reconciliation, the fights and everything has been made public.
think she would have had a choice to back
whatever she faces afterwards
becomes a secret.
becomes a secret.
Now, do
And I
you
just
think she
pray
would have
that-
had a choice, even if she had wanted to press further, having the governor step in? Do you think she would have had a choice
I tell
to
you,
move forward?
she would have, because at the point the video came out, a lot of human rights activists, they're ready to take up the case. So even if the governor comes in to mediate or whatever, even if she cannot, she doesn't have the access to the press. She came with her phone initially. She could also go to the phone to bring it public that, well, this is my situation. This is what the governor is pressuring me to do, and I don't think I'm ready to do it. You say it takes a determined, mind to
But in
stand
most
on your
cases-
feet,
but
and
in
you
most
say
cases,
this
the
is
fear-
enough.
I was
fear
about
of the
saying that
office.
it's not just a determined, it takes a determined mind, quite all right. But I was at a conference recently about, this domestic violence and stuff. And it would amaze you to know that 58%, almost 60% of the domestic violence we talk about is white factor. A lot of women, a whole lot of men in Nigeria that are going through these things and they are keeping. In fact, that's the most annoying thing. They are keeping it, and nobody you wouldn't even know. If I tell you that John, you just see a scratch and be like, I fell down. Then they lie about it.
Lola, let me shock you. Let me just shock you. I remember some years ago that when I was married and we had this issue, and I wanted to run away from him, and I took my son in the car. And because he came and it was like I should open the door, and I did not open the door. At the time I was about to move the car just to run away from him. Do you know what he did? He hit the side glass of the car, and the glass came down in shreds, and it came down in shreds on my son. Well, the rest is a story for another day. But what I'm trying to bring out is that then as a young married woman, I think I was just about 3 years in marriage as of then, because